Thank you, Sreeram. Good morning to everybody. Now, I will start with an anticipatory bail because I find that almost everything that I have to present has already been presented by the first three speakers who are my compatriots. And so, please, I will try to put in some new inputs, but please bear with my improvisation. So, what I'm going to speak about is from nuisance to economic boom, the emergence of catostylids as a commercial fishery in India. Now, I'll try to put it across from the fisherman's perspective, but first, a few things about jellyfish recorded from India. There are about 37 species actually, and of Scyphozoa, Cubozoa, and Staurozoans. And I think to this list we can also add the list on the right. I can also add Tripedalia Christophora, which has been recorded as a new species by Dr. Bijay Kumar and his team. And also my colleague, Dr. Divya Vishwambran, has noted its presence in Karnataka and Goa also, this cubozoan, the mangrove box jellyfish. And also Marivaja stellata, which has not been put in this list, that has been a new record from Indian waters by my colleague, Dr. Saravanan and his team. From this list, I think the bad guys are the Pelagidae, Chrysora and Pelagia, and the good guys are the catostylids. As we go along, we shall see. Major gears that are there in operation in Indian marine fisheries, first and most important of all is the trawl net. I think we have bottom trawls, pelagic trawls, midwater trawls, deep water trawls, and this brings in the bulk of the catch of the Indian fisheries, marine fisheries. Then we have gill nets, also very important because they're very numerous and also brings in a substantial amount of catch. Purse seines, which are operated for catching mackerel especially. Ring seines and dole nets, which are regional gear which are used basically for small pelagic sardines and mackerels again. Shore seines, which are operated by fishermen from the shore, bag nets, which are dragged, and also hook and line. There are many more gears, but these are the major ones. What I would like to emphasize is that all these gears, except for hook and line, which is used for tuna and eel fishing and things like that, all the other gears, we have jellyfish as bycatch. And therefore, the fishermen who are affected by jellyfish are from all these gears that they operate, they have a bycatch problem. Some visuals for jellyfish bycatch. You see in the trawl landings, sometimes the catch is almost 100% jellyfish in swarming seasons. And when this species such as Chrysora, it becomes an even bigger problem because the nets get torn and because of the bulk of the catch that is brought. And the fishermen who operate shore seines, about 10 to 30 people are involved in dragging a shore seine. And when a bulk of the catch is jellyfish, it is huge disappointment for them. It happens seasonally every year. We've gone through the negative impacts as of the perception analysis that Dr. Saravanan mentioned. I will also just glance over it. That is, fishing is further, the fishers have to go further to avoid swarms, and which translates into huge fuel costs, higher fuel costs, because the grounds that they're searching for, fishing in the normal times, are not available to them. They have to go in search of new grounds, which also translates into increased fishing time and effort. It takes a lot more effort to drag in this huge bulk of jellyfish that comes in, which also results in damaged nets and clogging. Damaged nets, sometimes the fishermen have to cut the cordon and throw away the catch entirely to the sea. And all the nets that are brought back to the shore are often clogged with jellyfish during the swarming season. It is a big job to clean the clogged nets. It lowers catch, that is, the usual catch is displaced by the jellyfish and brings in lesser remuneration for the fishermen. There is also spoilage of catch. The fish that are caught along with the jellyfish have traces of tentacles and the jelly, especially in trawl nets, and the value of the catch goes down very much. And those who sell such fish have to go to the lesser markets, the more local markets, and cannot sell them for a higher price. There is drudgery of sorting these jellyfish because most sorting is done by hand, and a lot of women are involved in this activity of sorting, and it is a very big problem for them to sort out these uh, the jellyfish from the normal catch. Also, the most of the people who are involved in sorting are also catching jellyfish are not equipped with shoes and gloves in India, and therefore jellyfish stings are very common. And there is a sort of an acceptance towards jellyfish stings by fishermen. They take it as a professional hazard. They don't really go ahead with finding a remedy for it, or they use home remedies mostly for jellyfish stings. History of jellyfish fishery in India, I'll just go through it very quickly. It started in the 1980s, the export market in India, and it was started in Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Here, I would like to emphasize on just one thing. Initially, when they were exporting jellyfish from India, the bell was definitely taken. Bell was there. There's a process called the Puducherry technique by which the processing is to take place of the bells, and this was very much a commodity. It's not very clear as to why we have lost this market, but now the market is only for the oral arms. Like was emphasized by the previous speakers, we have 4 species of jellyfish: Catostylids perezi, and Crambinella annandeli, Cambrinella orsini, and Ropilema hispidum, which are mostly fished in India. These are visuals of the Gujarat fishery. The Gujarat fishery is very important because it's almost 90% of the quantum of the jellyfish exports are from Gujarat, and about 5% from Andhra and Tamil Nadu, and another 5% from Andhra and Odisha, and another 5% from Kerala and Tamil Nadu. This is a visual from Andhra and Odisha fishery, where these jellyfish are packed into crates before the pre-processing. This is another from Kerala and Tamil Nadu fishery. This is Crambinella orsini fishery, I think in 2020. And export volumes. Now, this graph emphasizes that the value of the exports comes down at times. 2019 and 2022 and 23, the catch was basically not being lifted because there was a dip in the international markets. This is a very important factor to consider when we look for ways forward. You can also see that during the COVID season, that is a COVID pandemic, from 2019 and 2020, 21, the landings were quite sufficient. This formed a substantial income for the fishermen when other catches, when they were not really operating for other fish catches. Jellyfish did substitute quite a bit of their income in these years of the pandemic. I think the current issue that fishermen are facing is that their product is not being taken because of what is known as sand in the market. By the exporters call it sand. That is any debris that comes into the oral arms while the processing takes place. And this is avoided by certain fishermen by pre-processing the umbrellas, the jellyfish at sea, removing the umbrellas from the oral arms, so that no contaminant comes through. But you can see how it is being processed in the harbor. Definitely a bit of debris does go into the oral arms, and although it is cleaned very vigorously later on, small particles do exist. So also these infrastructure that is there for processing the jellyfish it's only in news sporadically. So huge investments into these infrastructure is sort of people do not go in for it. And now we come to the way forward. First and foremost, like I said, the market vagaries are what is most detrimental to the fishers. So it is very important to create a domestic market. When you rely only on one single export country, we are not really at a good bargaining point. So creating a domestic market is very possible in India. I will give you the example of all Indians would be familiar with instant noodles, how popular they are with the labor force in India. Nobody used to eat noodles, say about 30 years back, but it's one of the most popular foods in India nowadays. They have totally indigenized the product, indigenized the taste, but the product is there. So similarly, we can think of having the jellyfish introduced into the cuisine of Indians and definitely create a market for it here. And markets in India, because of our population, are really huge. It would be a very stable market. Next is innovative products. I think Broads and Polly in 2017 had listed out a huge number of areas in which jellyfish products can be developed. That is livestock feed and poultry feed and cosmetics and medical products and so on and fertilizers, so on and so forth. I think we have done very little to go into innovative products in this country. I think we have our work cut out for us, and we should think of going ahead with finding more and more innovative products so that the fishermen can not only, the catch can not only be utilized for as edible raw material, but also for many other uses. We should advance post-harvest facilities close to the harbor. This is very important because generally the catch is not iced, and by the time it reaches the processing facilities which are away from the harbor, the spoilage does take, a little bit of spoilage does take place. So to have very good product quality, it is very necessary that the processing facilities exist close to the harbor. We had to strengthen the supply chain. Right now, there are only very few players in the market, and we have to have a more diversified lot of people involved in the supply chains and the processing part of it. We also have to look for new export markets. It's not good to rely on just one, very few markets to export our product. And also, as we have come across with the awareness, we have to have awareness campaigns with the fishers to add a fresh perspective. That is, we have to give them hope that jellyfish are not all bad, and that we are going to come up with more innovative products, and there will be more income for them in future. This is something that has to be solved through R&D, and I think that brings me to the end of the talk. If I have permission, may I play a video which was collected by my colleague, Dr. Divya Vishwambaran? The video, please. It shows the fishermen, how a slightly innovative way of fishing. They are floating the jellyfish out of the net and throwing it out. You can just see the video.
Undu denna
Yalling.
Marigu korka
Yalling.
Gobilmal
Yalling.
Thank you.